Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you guys for joining me here. And so, yes, we're going to be doing another mock draft here. And this time, going to be doing the Miami Dolphins here. So this will be the first time I do one for the Miami Dolphins here. And so, yeah, took a little bit of time there, go over the roster there and see some of the things they need. Obviously, when you think of Miami Dolphins, some of the biggest needs that they have rely on the offensive side of the ball. We need guys that can come in here that can sustain this offensive line. Matter of fact, they only had one guy that was rated in terms of not a poor grade in terms of Pro Football Focus, in terms of rating their entire offensive line that started last year for the Miami Dolphins. And so that's not good at all. Not to mention, they really struggled to run the football there. And so that was obviously a big need of concern there. Now, I do believe they're going to retain their defensive coordinator there. So sticking with that 3-4, that seems to be ideal there, but they can certainly probably use another edge or something like that. But we'll see that. But most of the focus is going to be towards offenses. We need to go ahead and get some weapons here. We know what new head coach, Mike McDaniel, what he can do in terms of what he, what the 49ers offense looked like there. And so if we can go ahead and bring some pieces in here, some playmakers, that's what we're looking for. We really want to give the Miami Dolphins really an identity on offense here. So we're not going to force our hand off of purely just need, although we'll take it into consideration. But we'll also see who's the best players on the board there. How can they come in and help this team? Because obviously, free agency is going to dictate a lot of this stuff. Whether or not they're going to, what they're going to do with Gesicki, that's a question there. And then just, obviously a cornerback room. How are we going to keep guys happy? A lot of stuff going on there. In terms of priorities for the Miami Dolphins, and so we'll see how things play out. But yeah, definitely, let me know your thoughts afterwards. Just remember to be respectful. And I appreciate whether you're complimenting something or either you're giving me, in terms of what I could have done better, all that stuff. I appreciate all of that stuff for real, guys. So definitely keep that stuff coming in the chat section. But without further ado, let me go ahead and get into this. So let's go ahead and get this draft started. All right, so for the Miami Dolphins, we're going to be starting off with pick number 29, guys. That's right, pick number 29. So the Dolphins, I know you're used to drafting earlier in the draft, but this time we're going to be starting at pick 29 with the first round. Let's see how this board wipes out there. It's obviously the board's going to dictate what route we end up taking. I know Miami is committed to Tua Tagovailoa, so since they are, I will be committed to that as well here. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see how this board continues to play out. All right, so here we are on the clock. And so at pick 29, looking at the board right now, Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa sticks out to me, that cornerback position right there. That is something that I am thinking about. I'm also possibly considering potentially seeing if we can trade out there. I would love to see if we can get a good upcoming trade or something like that. I don't know. This is a lot of work here in terms of trying to find a trade partner here, but maybe we can get a trade with who's someone I can use. Let's try Carolina. Maybe they might have some interest in trading there. And let's not try Carolina. No. Who are some teams that can really benefit? If we give them that, let's go second, third, and also we'll go future first round pick as well. So let's just propose it and see what happens. All right, it's declined, guys. I tried something. Let's. All right, so we'll go ahead and keep this. We don't have all day with this. So I'm thinking right now, looking at the board. I definitely see some interesting pieces here, guys. I really would like to trade down and acquire multiple picks here. I really would want to. But, I mean, the fact that Andrew Booth, although this is not necessarily something that we really need to, I guess, go for in the first round, but that's interesting that he's still on the board. Him, Jameson Williams, there's a lot of guys here in round 2. So that is why I would love to make a trade and see if I can find a potential partner. I mean, all right, let's just see what teams might be open. What do they have? So if we get a second, third, and another third, let's see if that'll work. All right, that's declined. All right, at this point, we're better off just taking the guy. So, I mean, but Devin Lloyd, though, that's one heck of a linebacker. Him, N'Kobe Dean. And then we still got Dotson on the board here at receiver. But I'm looking at Jamison Williams here from Alabama. That's what I'm looking at if I were to take the direction of right receiver in this point. But obviously, I need to improve that offensive line there. We talked about how bad it was. And Tinderdale, Tyler Linderbaum, he is a great asset there to add to the offensive line there, I believe. So adding him to the board, that would be a huge pickup there. If the draft went this way and he was on the board at this pick there, you certainly can't go wrong with a center like that. Matter of fact, Pro Football Focus, according to them, they have him currently, ranked ninth there, but they say he was the highest graded center in the country in both 2020 and 2021. Matter of fact, his 95.4 overall grade this past season was the highest they ever gave to a Power 5 center. Right there. He can be the cornerstone of this offensive line for years to come, and he can help become the building block to keep Tua upright, to help the running game improve. With all that, let's go ahead and let's take the kid. Somebody called his folks here. We're taking him with the first pick there. So we went ahead, went center there. I would not be afraid to double dip in terms of just being able to get another guy there. And so let's see some of the guys that were taken off the board there. Detroit went and got him. Cincinnati. Interesting they had the Bengals go linebacker first as opposed to offensive lineman there. So interesting. All right, so now we've got some trade offers there, and Baltimore, and these are some awful trades, guys. Awful trades. Decline them all. All right, so let's start the round. I mean, I didn't know I came here to be disrespected with these trades. All right, so we're still in round 2, guys. Looking at the board there. Surprised that N'Kobe Dean is still on the board there. I'm hoping that Kenneth Walker slides, but I doubt he will slide to where I'm picking. But if he does, that's our guy. And what do you know, guys? We are on the clock. And so I said to myself, the only way I'm going to go running back this early is if it's Kenneth Walker III. I don't know about you guys, but I am convinced about this kid. What he did at Michigan State, I know that up until they played Ohio State, he was in the Heisman running there, but he can do it all. You're talking about a game changer. Imagine having him in the backfield. That's going to be a big upgrade right there. We're going to go ahead and take this kid, Kenneth Walker, real quick. Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit of a breakdown there. So Kenneth Walker III, he's the highest rated running back on the board by Pro Football Focus there. Their big board, they have him ranked 53rd there. So yes, he's that running back run. Matter of fact, he led all the college football with 89 broken tackles this past season, including 20 against Miami alone. And so you remember that game right there. They had a strong fourth quarter in that game, Michigan State there. But he has been the workhorse there, and he'll continue to be the workhorse. He's someone that's going to come in day one and make life easier for Tua Tagovailoa there. Getting a guy like this, you just got a running back that can get you 1,000 yards plus 10 plus touchdowns year one. We're going to draft this kid right here. So there you have it. We went there. We got our offensive lineman in our center. We've got our running back now. So we got some stuff to help build some pieces here with the offense. We haven't completely forgot about the defense as well. Let's see how this board plays out, guys. And so, yeah, I know that not everybody's too fond of taking a running back, super early. But a kid like this, the best running back on the board in round 2, we didn't have to trade up or nothing to get him. I think that was a good move. All right, so here we go, guys. Round 3. Let's see how things play out here. The top player they have right now is a guy like Christian Harris. If we can get, if somehow Taylor Muford out of Ohio State fell to us, I mean, best believe I would take him. But let's see how this round plays out here. All right, so we're looking at the board here. So we've got only 1 third-round pick here. We do have 2 fourth-round picks, so that will be interesting there. Again, there will be some pieces that, the Dolphins will pick up in free agency, so this draft is not going to cover every single team need here. It's just how the board plays out here. We'll see how things work out. All right, so here we go, guys. We are on the clock right now. So being on the clock as we are, looking at some of the pieces that they have available for us at this time. So let's see. All right, so looking at the board right here, I mean, Mike Rose from Iowa State, we could go linebacker here. That's very well a possibility there. We know that we're sticking with that 3-4. And so, edge, linebacker. So we know that's something that we can keep an eye out for, especially if this was an edge. But looking at how the board is right now, I'm looking at Neil Farrell Jr. from LSU. And so you talk about a D lineman that can come in and make an impact. That's someone that we're certainly keeping an eye out for right there. Let's just make sure we look at the rest of the board there, because obviously a cornerback situation, how happy are those guys? Are we with those corners? That's a question mark right there. But let's see. In terms of D linemen, so give me 1 second here, guys. Okay. All right, so so Big Neil Farrell Jr. He is 6'4", 325 pounds. And so according to what they say in terms of some of his positives is that he's got that thick frame, way well, distributed. They say very good upper body strength. His hands don't pop. But he had no issues taking control of blocks after engagement. Plays with good length and extension. Keeps offensive lineman out of his frame. Great eyes and discipline to the backfield. Can maintain his gap control without losing vision. And they say above average lower body strength. Can handle double teams well enough. And so, they say above average movement across the line of scrimmage when coming off blocks for his size, and good flexibility, can contort his body while remaining balanced to make it difficult for offensive linemen to take over blocks. And so that's good right there. That is good right there. Matter of fact, 2021, he ended up having 45 tackles, total tackles. He had 9.5 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 2 pass deflections. He had 4 years of playing time, 1.5 as a starter. So, we will see. And so, given what we're trying to do there, if we go ahead and take a guy like this, I feel like we can take that route possibly. There is Jalen Armour Davis there if we're going to go the cornerback route, but I think this is the guy we want to go here. We want to go ahead and take this kid right here. So, all right, we went ahead, grabbed us a good defensive lineman there. So I feel like, in the future, he's definitely going to be someone that can come in and make an impact here. So there we go, guys. We're through 3 rounds already. Let's go to the next round here. Okay, so now we've got another trade. What I'm about to say, what is up with teams trying to dupe us out of trades here? And so let's see. Cowboys are saying if we move back, they'll throw in an extra 5th round pick. So moving back 8 spots, sure, I'll accept that one from the Cowboys there. We'll do that. So pick up some more late picks here. All right, let's start this round, round 4. We're going to be picking 20th and 24th. Okay, let's see how this board's going to play out. Got my eyes on someone here, but we'll see if he's on the board when it's my turn to pick. Yeah, decline. All right, I'm on the clock, which is great news because I already have found my guy here. So give me just 1 second to pull up the report here. But the guy that I'm looking at is Jalen Naylor out of Michigan State, guys. So 1 second. All right, and so looking at this guy right there, because this right here would give Tua another weapon to throw to. So, that would be really good right there. Let's see. So 6 feet, 190 pounds, let's see. All right, so they say that, some of his strengths is that he essentially makes things easier for those to run up, underneath routes and stuff like that by him going over the top. And so I feel like he can really come in here and, have an opportunity to give you another weapon to look at there. So if I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and take this kid right here from Michigan State. So we'll go ahead and do that. And so we don't have to wait long because we're going to be on the board again here, guys. And so this is where things get interesting. This is where things get really interesting right now. So a guy like Brandon Smith or Damon Clark, those two guys right there, that is something that I'm strongly considering taking that route. But Jamari Sayer from Georgia, I'm also thinking about that as well. And so I know guard is a need there. So I'm going to go ahead and I like these linebackers here. I like these linebackers. So I'm not sure yet if I should go linebacker or guard here. Let's see. I feel like if I don't get them now, all right, so we're going to go ahead here and we're going to take tough decisions, guys. Tough decisions. I mean, if I do go linebacker, do I go Brandon Smith? Do I go Damon Clark? But I think I'm going to go guard Jameer Sellier from Georgia. So I think that's the route that I'll take here. Add me another lineman here. So, Operation Protect Tua. Got another offensive lineman here at the guard position. So we got a center in the first round. We've now got a guard here in the fourth round. And looking at the board, I mean, our linebackers are still there, but we'll see if that remains the case in round 5. So let's get to round 5. Again, we got 2 picks here in round 5. So this is where things get very interesting. And at this point, you really want to get guys that are the top guys available in the draft. All right, so there goes our linebackers that we were looking at. And so, all right, so given the board where we are right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go linebacker. So we're going to take the Marvion Overshawn from Texas. We're going to go ahead and we're going to draft him. And so, all right, so now we got a linebacker. We'll be picking at 24th here as well. So, all right, so let's see. Looking at the board here and what we've got available to us, I'm going to go ahead and go offensive tackle Braxton Jones out of Southern Miss here. So, yeah, I think getting us a tackle here, that would be very important. So we'll go ahead and get us a tackle at this point. And that's going to take us to the end of the 5th round. And so the 6th round shall begin. All right, so let us get this party started. So feel like we should probably look at getting a defensive back in this round, but I do have a particular receiver that is on my mind that if I see him there, I will take him. But I feel like I got to get a cornerback here. Got to get a cornerback or a safety. So looking at the board that we have here, I should have went edge a long time ago. I really should have went edge a long time ago. Don't want to reach too far for a corner. So I will go ahead and go edge here. So we'll take Josh Paschal out of Kentucky. So we'll go ahead and go edge, draft him. So we got one more pick to work with, guys. One more pick. Safety, cornerback. It's got to be in the secondary, you would think. It's got to be. All right, the 6th round is still concluding. We won't have to wait too long in the 7th round for our final pick of the draft. Again, in free agency, Miami very well could address that edge need a little bit earlier on the board. But let us start this round, 7th round. So we're on the clock here. And so at the top of the board, we're going to trust the board here. We're going to go ahead and take safety Trenton Thompson out of San Diego State. So we'll go ahead and draft him at that safety spot. And so that is going to conclude our draft. So, yeah, I know that, obviously there's some things that could have been done differently there, but we did get some good pieces here. And obviously, free agency is going to have to be the way that we go about in terms of some things such as, obviously securing, another, the cornerback's position. Obviously, free agency is going to dictate, whether or not we lose some guys, stuff like that. But I feel like given some of the pieces that we got here, we went out there, we drafted a center that, in my opinion, is definitely a top 10, top 15 player, no doubt about that. Definitely an extremely bright center that's going to be a part of this team for years to come. We're looking at 10 to 15 years out of him. Kenneth Walker III, you can probably get a good decade of running out of him. And so that's going to be big right there. Neil Farrell. He's something that I feel like, day one come in, can contribute to the team and continue to contribute for years to come. Now, Jalen Naylor, if we nail this one right here, that's going to be great right there. Jamari Sawyer right there, another piece to help with the offensive line out of Georgia. And then at linebacker in the fifth out of Texas, DeMarvion Overshawn. And then also in the fifth round, we went Braxton Jones, Southern Utah there out of, offensive tackle right there. Then in the sixth round, we went edge out of Kentucky. Kentucky's had a pretty good, defense for the last couple of seasons there. He's been a part of that. And so it'll be interesting to see what type of contributions we get from there. Edge is probably something that in free agency we're going to have to address a little bit earlier than what I did here. But pretty solid there. We did make a trade and all like that throughout the draft. Acquired a few picks there. In the seventh round, we went safety Trenton Thompson there. And so, yeah, that's how the board played out, guys. So appreciate you guys so much for joining in. Let me know which picks you would have done different. And also, which picks did you like? Was your favorite pick there? Which of these players do you think are going to be, great picks? Is there anyone here that you think is going to be a bust? Let me know your thoughts there, because you guys watch the Miami Dolphins play year in and year out. So you guys know this team better than I would. So definitely let me know your thoughts there. Certainly looking forward to it. And hey, appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and joining the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. If you're someone that's new, do consider subscribing to the channel. Going to try to do some more mock drafts for other teams as well. Appreciate you guys and all the support, and see you guys next time.